money, thinking like, this is my domain.
They were just being bratty, I think.
You're a twin.
I am.
Do you think twins are more bratty because it's kind of a cute little thing that they're twins and they look alike and blah, blah, blah?
I think it's more of a sign of just bad parenting.
Let's talk about the filth that's starting to come out in the early days of the trial. This, of course, is P. Diddy. Surprise, surprise, he's a creep. Surprise, surprise, he's done.
And we got word from insiders at the White House that Donald Trump was seriously considering.
They once worked together a long time ago. They're not friends now. They don't like each other. And yeah, 50 has taken every shot, especially when Diddy has been down.
Shocking doesn't even begin to cover it. Sean Diddy. Combs has been gutted by the very people he thought would stand by him forever. His own children. Once the untouchable king of hip-hop, flashing wealth in the hundreds of millions, Diddy now sits on an empire that looks like nothing more than a burned-out husk. And the most brutal part? It's not the prosecutors, not the brands that cut him loose, but his bloodline that delivered the blow. The same kids who once called him the best dad in the world are now being painted as the masterminds behind his downfall. Word in the industry says Jesse and Delilah Combs didn't just hop on a plane to Europe for peace and privacy, they allegedly packed more than luggage. Rumors claim they carried with them the golden keys to their father's hidden fortunes, accounts he believed nobody could ever touch. One moment, Diddy was still clinging to the image of endless wealth. The next, he was staring at numbers that had drained to terrifying lows. According to whispers, the twins moved like professionals, sliding straight through the cracks of his collapsing financial empire. The real bombshell? An insider says they were tipped off about a secret Swiss account, the kind billionaires use when they want to outsmart ex-partners, creditors, and even federal investigators. Someone close to Diddy allegedly cracked under pressure, slipping them the codes and access. Within hours, the money vanished. As the gossip mill connected the dots, it became clear this wasn't some quiet getaway. It was a full-blown spending spree. From Paris boutiques dripping in couture to under-the-table yacht deals in Monaco, their fingerprints were reportedly smeared across transactions that screamed excess. Insiders even whisper about a private island in the Mediterranean, allegedly bought with the very stash Diddy once set aside for paying off accusers in court. If that's true, then we're not just looking at betrayal, we're looking at a public revolt. They flipped his hidden treasure chest into their golden ticket out, spitting on the Combs legacy in the process. The irony is almost cruel. The same funds he buried deep in secrecy are now fueling their new lives in plain sight, flaunted across luxury playgrounds he can't even touch. But here's the real question. Are Jesse and Delilah simply victims, pushed to extreme survival moves by their father's sins? Or are they playing their own ruthless game, cashing out while his empire crumbles around him? Either way, the optics are explosive. And they haven't exactly stayed low-key. From flashy appearances at the Orange County Fair to carefully coordinated gingham outfits in court, the twins have broadcasted that they are not afraid of attention, even while their dad rots behind bars. One moment, cameras catch them crying at a courthouse, shaken by testimony that could lock their father away for good. The next, they're striding out hand in hand with their sister, perfectly styled, projecting strength and unity. The timing feels almost too perfect. On the surface, those polished court appearances painted the picture of loyal daughters holding their father down. But insiders insist it was nothing more than a smokescreen while they quietly siphoned off his last lifeline. And the receipts? They're piling up fast. Eyewitnesses in Paris swear they saw Jesse and Delilah strolling out of Avenue Montaigne with bags stacked high in designer goods, dripping in luxury labels most people only dream about. A Milan insider claims the twins were even in talks to secure a custom-built car, the kind only seen in royal garages or parked outside billionaire villas. And that island rumor won't die either. Whispers link a fresh stretch of Mediterranean coastline to offshore buyers with names that suspiciously mirror shell companies tied to the Combs fortune. Could it all be coincidence? Maybe on paper. But the numbers tell a darker truth. Diddy's net worth, once hovering near $400 million, has been gutted. And the math doesn't lie. Someone's been bleeding the pool dry. Meanwhile, the once invincible mogul is reportedly unraveling behind bars. Sources describe him as frantic, desperately begging his legal team not only to fight the criminal charges, but to chase down the missing millions. Yet even beyond Jesse and Delilah, the cracks in the Combs dynasty are spreading wide. Justin's name is being dragged into lawsuits of his own, while Christian faces whispers of wild yacht trip scandals gone wrong. Now, the once untouchable mogul sits powerless, watching even his own heirs slice away at the scraps of his empire. The scandal hits like a thunderclap, turning family loyalty completely inside out. Just last Father's Day, Jesse and Delilah were posting tributes calling him the best dad in the entire world. Those glowing words now read more like an epitaph on a bond crushed under the weight of greed, secrets, and betrayal. "We love you so, so much. Words can't even explain," they wrote on Instagram, posing shoulder to shoulder with their siblings in a portrait staged to radiate unity. But unity is a lie. Actions rewrite history far louder than captions ever could. Today, those same daughters stand accused of torching through cash faster than Diddy can file motions, dragging the Combs name into its darkest chapter yet. And the sightings keep the fire alive. Paparazzi catch them rocking matching pink sweatsuits at a California fair. Then flashbulbs catch their designer silhouettes slipping through tinted glass in Rome. Their playful, carefree image only masks the deeper question. Are they liberating themselves from the stain of their father's fortune, or simply snatching the bag while the vault door stood wide open? For fans and gossip hounds, the drama is addictive. But for Diddy, it's destruction. Behind the glossy photos, whispers grow louder. Is this rebellion just a temporary escape, or the opening act of a far bigger reckoning still to come? Has the Combs dynasty already fallen, or are Jesse and Delilah unknowingly dragging themselves into the same trap that swallowed their father? Sources claim Diddy now drifts through the endless halls of his Los Angeles mansion like a ghost, drained of energy and crushed by betrayal. Once a fortress booming with music, laughter, and star-studded celebrations, the estate has fallen into a chilling silence, every corner echoing with what used to be. Insiders whisper he's become desperate, reaching out to the very children who abandoned him, only to be met with cold, punishing silence. Yes, his empire collapsed in contracts and courtrooms, but what cuts the deepest is the hollow space left by family. Those closest to him say he replays his downfall endlessly in his mind, convinced his own actions planted the seeds of this rebellion. Friends describe him staring in the mirror, seeing nothing but a shadow of himself, haunted not by indictments, but by the faces of the twins he once raised and proudly paraded to the world. This was the man who once stood as the invincible architect of hip-hop, the king who controlled the charts and orchestrated wild after-parties that went until sunrise. Now, he's the architect of his own loneliness. Conversations with him reportedly swing between furious rage over betrayal and aching sorrow for the family he's lost forever. And the irony couldn't be more brutal. A mogul who built his brand on the image of family and loyalty, broken to pieces by the very bonds he thought would save him. Every move Jesse and Delilah make screams a life more extravagant than ever. Their feeds fuel the fire. Cryptic captions paired with glossy backdrops of yachts, champagne towers, and candlelit dinners hint at freedom and new beginnings. Their smiles don't mourn their father's downfall. They celebrate their own rise. Whether it's a calculated act of defiance or a genuine attempt to break free, the message couldn't be louder. The bond with their father is shattered, and there's no going back. Their silence toward Diddy's pleas has only deepened the rift. Instead, their posts swing wildly between playful independence and razor-sharp symbolism, lavish dinners for two, captions about never looking back, and snaps from jet cabins where champagne flutes glimmer in the cabin lights. Insiders in the European fashion world claim the twins are already cashing in on the Combs name, using it as a golden ticket into elite circles once closed off to outsiders. Designers reportedly send them exclusive pieces, hoping for a feature on their feeds, while whispers say they've even been invited front row to runway shows usually reserved for aristocrats and heiresses. But beneath the luxury veneer, a darker tension brews. Are Jesse and Delilah truly building a shield of independence? Or are they making a bold power play to reinvent themselves as more than just Diddy's daughters? The intrigue deepens with the cryptic messages sprinkled across their socials. Followers have noticed the unsettling weight of certain captions. Truth coming soon, no more lies, and most chilling of all, the vault finally opening. Every emoji, every midnight caption, every cryptic photo, fans tear them apart like detectives, wondering if Jesse and Delilah are dropping hints of explosive revelations or just feeding the frenzy that already surrounds them. But industry insiders whisper there's more here than teenage-style rebellion. The timing of their cryptic posts is too sharp to ignore. They often land right after another lawsuit hits Diddy's name or after a fresh round of damning headlines, almost as if the twins are syncing their moves with his downfall. The question is chilling. Are they quietly positioning themselves not just as survivors, but as potential whistleblowers ready to expose what's hidden inside their father's empire? If so, the fallout wouldn't just tear apart a family. It could rip open the carefully sealed vault of Diddy's business dealings, the kind of vault people have spent decades trying to keep shut. And here's where it gets juicier. Whispers in publishing circles suggest the idea of a tell-all book. Executives in New York and London are rumored to be circling the twins like sharks, dangling offers climbing into 7 figures. Imagine it, a memoir penned by the daughters of hip-hop's most controversial mogul. It wouldn't just sell millions, it could rewrite everything the public thought they knew about Diddy's empire. But others argue this isn't about a book at all. It's about leverage. In today's world, secrets are worth more than cash, and the twins might be holding their father's darkest truths like an insurance policy. Those captions, "Truth coming soon," "The vault opening," could be less about teasing fans and more about warning shots aimed straight at Diddy's camp. A reminder that if he pushes too hard for reconciliation, or if his legal team dares to drag them into his cases, they have the nuclear codes to obliterate what's left of his name forever. The burning question now, are Jesse and Delilah's cryptic messages a cry for empowerment or an act of pure vengeance? Are the twins finally ready to free themselves by exposing the darkness they claim haunted their childhood, or are they simply playing the attention game, flipping their father's collapse into a launchpad for their own celebrity independence? Either way, the effect is undeniable. Every cryptic phrase they drop turns into a headline. Every staged image sparks a new conspiracy theory. And with each passing day, the tension builds. What secret might they drop next? And how much more chaos could they unleash on their father's already broken empire? The psychological canyon between father and daughters has never been wider. Insiders say Diddy still clings to the memory of their Father's Day tribute, the one where they called him the best dad in the entire world. He replays those words like an old hit song, but the lyrics no longer match the brutal reality. That sentimental facade has been demolished by stories of drained accounts, designer shopping sprees, and whispered betrayals that cut deeper than any lawsuit. And yet, even now, sources reveal he still defends them. A longtime associate claims Diddy often tells visitors, "They're still my babies," even as he quietly admits those babies may have been the ones who took his legs out from under him. That's the cruelest sting, loyalty running only one way. The glare of public scandal has destroyed the one lifeline Diddy always leaned on, family unity. The once proud image of a blended dynasty standing strong has shattered into pieces. Instead of loyalty, lawsuits swirl around his sons like vultures circling overhead. Fresh allegations drop almost daily, and suddenly the story isn't about a tight-knit empire. It's about a family scrambling to save themselves from the wreckage of a collapsing kingdom. The mogul who once pulled every string of the spotlight now watches helplessly as his own heirs decide how much of their lives and his darkest secrets to put on display. Meanwhile, the twins' European chapter only grows louder and bolder. Reports out of Saint-Tropez describe Jesse and Delilah pulling up to private villas and convoys usually reserved for royals. An industry insider swears their names have surfaced in connection to shell companies buying up art at high-profile Geneva auctions, while another whispers the twins have been meeting with investors, possibly laying the groundwork to build an empire of their own, far from their father's ruined legacy. If true, it's not just ruthless, it's revolutionary. They don't just want to spend his money. They may be plotting to build something bigger on the ashes of his brand. Back in New York courtrooms, the consequences for Diddy cut far deeper than finances. This is the unraveling of his very identity. For decades, he built his career on being the patriarch of an unstoppable family machine, a mogul who commanded loyalty and controlled every narrative. Now stripped of fortune, dragged by scandal, and abandoned by blood, he faces a crisis far greater than sentencing or settlements. He's watching the foundation of his life crumble in real time. Lawsuits keep stacking higher, prosecutors circle like vultures. Allies who once swore loyalty vanish overnight, and now the daughters flaunt a kind of independence that looks permanent. Could this be the ultimate betrayal? Not just a theft of money, but of legacy itself? Or are we witnessing something even bigger? The birth of a brand new dynasty with the Combs children using their father's seized fortune as fuel to build their own empire? But here's the most chilling possibility. What if Jesse and Delilah decide money isn't enough? What if their true play is unleashing the one weapon more devastating than empty accounts? The truth about what they witnessed behind those mansion doors? Imagine the fallout if the twins chose to rip open the shadows of whispered allegations that have stalked Diddy's name for decades. Would that finally crush what's left of his empire, or would it ignite a scandal so explosive it could drag half the industry down into flames with him? Right now, we're watching a family empire collapse from the inside. A mogul begging for loyalty that money can't buy, while his daughters rewrite their own destinies on the runways and yachts of Europe. The question we're left with is haunting. Is this just the beginning of Diddy's downfall? And will it be his own daughters who deliver the finishing blow prosecutors couldn't? Betrayal, rebellion, or survival? What do you think this really is? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and stay tuned. Because in this family saga, the next twist might just be the most shocking one yet.